Alright, so game 2 of the season is wrapped up. The Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers on Saturday night. The Oilers take it by a final score of 3-1, but let's be real here. I'll be the first to say it. The Oilers could have had themselves about 6 or 7 goals. That might be generous. They probably could have had a couple more, but Thatcher Demko played an outstanding game. He was the only reason why the Vancouver Canucks were actually in this game. But you know what? I got to give the Oilers a lot of credit. They're a very good team. They're probably the best team in the NHL. They skate really well, jump on the counterattacks, control the play. That's honestly how you want to play the game. The Vancouver Canucks at times looked really stagnant. They were defending a lot, and Pickard isn't a good goalie, but the Canucks really just couldn't generate that many great chances on him to actually score a goal. And that's on them. Another thing I want to mention, you absolutely cannot take upwards of 5 penalties and expect to win that game when the Oilers are also playing a pretty disciplined game. I think there were a couple missed calls on both sides, but yeah, the Canucks need to be a bit more disciplined, especially against the teams that are going to make them pay. They didn't actually give up any power play goals again, surprisingly. I guess it speaks volumes to how good the Canucks penalty kill is, but you're also spending 10 minutes in your own zone defending when you could be trying to score another goal. It is early in the season, so I'm not going to really get too high or too low, but it's clear that after playing against the best teams in the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks have a lot of work to do, and that starts with making the minor adjustments that they can make in the lineup. I think that Baines has to go. He did absolutely nothing. And Lekkerimäki has to get elevated to a top 6 role, perhaps even onto the power play 1, because it didn't seem like he played that much tonight, but when he did, his shot was one of the only threats all night long, so I want to see him have more opportunities to use it because it really is a good weapon to have. But we'll see, it's still early days in the season. Let's jump into the recap, starting off with the first period of play. The first period starts and the Oilers are already off and running. The first save Demko makes is off of Savoy on the doorstep here. Really nice pass across, but he stands tall in his crease and keeps it out. McDavid streaks in, showcasing his speed. Doesn't really get a good shot off, but knocking at the door regardless. Later, it's Darnell Nurse, who's playing down low. I don't know why he is, but he's there anyways. Fluttering shot gets tipped, and it goes past Demko, but it's an obvious high stick, so it gets called back. That's McDavid who spins, plays to Frederick, and he gets robbed at the doorstep by Thatcher Demko. On that power play, it's Tomashik who gets a chance in close, but Demko stands his ground and keeps it tied up. The Canucks have a shot here from Brock Boeser. Not a great shot, but it gives Calvin Pickard a little bit of trouble. He juggles with it, but it ends up staying out. Connor McDavid gets a good chance here, but Thatcher Demko moves laterally really well to cover it and block off that side of the net. Another power play for the Oilers, and it's McDavid over to Tomasek, who's literally inside the blue crease. I don't know how he doesn't score this, but Thatcher Demko is standing on his head. A great save there, right at the goal line, keeps it out. Right after that, it's Tomasek who gets a clear shot right in the slot, but Thatcher Demko gloves it down and keeps it out. Great save, and that was it for the first. More in the second, though. It's Frederick with the shot, gets stopped by Demko, and then later it's another great save from Demko, this time on Bouchard. I sound like a broken record here. It's the same thing over and over again, but finally the Oilers break through. It's Noah Philp with his first career NHL goal. It deflects off of Meyer's stick and finds it short side past Demko to make it a 1-0 lead for Edmonton. Then, in the final minute of the second period, it's Philip Hedl, who's coming off of a great game against Calgary, makes a horrible pass over to Mangiapane, who comes in, takes his time, picks his spot, and beats Thatcher Demko on the short side to give the Oilers a 2-0 lead as we head to the second intermission. The Canucks needed to respond in the third period. They owed it to Thatcher Demko, and at least in the opening minute they did, as it's Brock Boeser here on this turnaround shot, slides it through Calvin Pickard to make it 2-1, and with that point, Quinn Hughes overtakes Alex Edler to lead the Vancouver Canucks now in points scored by a defenseman. What a milestone, and he does it in nearly half the games. You have to give your hat off to Quinn Hughes there. Crazy stuff. On the other end, it's more from Thatcher Demko, another good save off Matthew Savoy. And then on another power play that the Canucks gave the Oilers, this one was like a delay of game call. You just can't take these. It's a miraculous save at the tail end by Thatcher Demko. Possibly a save of the year candidate as he robs one of the league's best goal scorers. You could even see that the Oilers thought it was going to go in automatically. I'm pretty sure most people assumed that, but it didn't. It stayed out, and Thatcher Demko deserves a standing ovation for that one because that's a ridiculous save. Couple minutes left in the game, and Regula gets absolutely destroyed by Kane. It's a clean hit, but he just gets crunched. Anyways, late in the game, the Canucks have a power play, but they're unable to be successful on it. Draisaitl gets a look at the open net, and he's not going to miss from there. Makes it a 3-1 final, and that was all she wrote. Not a great game for most Vancouver Canucks players, but we move. Next game is Monday against the St. Louis Blues. Thank you for watching this one. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and take